His Excellency Dr. Mohamed Irfaan Ali, President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, members of the Diplomatic Corps, honorable members of government, private sector leaders and representatives, both local, regional, and international. Go Invest, Dr. Peter Ramsarup, CEO of NISIL, Mr. Radhakrishna Sharma, residents and community leaders of Enmore, members of the media, distinguished guests, special invitees, ladies and gentlemen all, welcome to this special announcement by GKB. My name is Rosh Khan, and it's a pleasure to serve as your MC this morning for this brief program and announcement. And so you hear GKB and you ask, well, what or who is GKB? Now, our president has been speaking about and advocating for partnerships and consortiums to tackle what's happening and the demand in the world today. And so GKB is GUYSONS Engineering, established in 1992 and developed into a leading engineering and machine shop. And KNB Industries is the US company, full-service machine shop involved in state-of-the-art production. And so to walk us through GKB and to talk about the genesis and where this is all going and why are we all here, please put your hands together as I invite the CEO of GKB, Mr. Faisal Khan.
Thank you very much, Rosh. I wish I could do all the formalities, all protocols observed, Your Excellency, President Irfaan. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Welcome to a very, very special day for Guyana. Thank you for all making the time to join us and share this moment. GUYSONS KNB Industries is a majority-owned Guyanese company. GUYSONS Engineering started 30 years ago in 1992. Today in 2022, after 30 years of supporting Guyana and the continuous investment in Guyana, with our international joint ventures, KNB Industries, we are proud to thank His Excellency President Irfaan Ali, Minister Ashni Singh, CEO of Go Invest, Peter Ramsarup, and the entire team for allowing us to continue that commitment and that investment. With the continued support of the government of Guyana, the ExxonMobils, and the entire oil industry, I am proud to announce the commitment of the endeavor for 500 jobs in Enmore within the next 5 years. We have fantastic partners in KNB Industries, ladies and gentlemen. They are family now. We, like KNB, shares the President's vision and recent statement that if we are truly going to deliver the potential of the Guyana oil field, it's going to take everybody's hard work, day in, day out, on the ground. KNB are fully committed to that. For Guyana's oil field people to forget our sugar people is like us forgetting ourselves. This resides very closely to me. My mother and father were both born very close to sugar estates. My great-grandfather may have been the first ever Guyanese overseer. Our partners, KNB Industries, are from a small town called Homer, Louisiana. Homer is a sugar town, ladies and gentlemen. Today, GUYSONS KNB Industries go home. Thank you very much. But before I leave the podium, I'd like to invite none other than the founder of GUYSONS. Rumor has it he's my father, to say a few brief words. Thank you very much.
I know time is of essence. Usual protocols observe, Excellency. Maternity is a matter of fact. Paternity is a matter of fate. Just some quick milestones. GUYSONS Engineering, founded in 1992. The word GUYSONS is really Guyana Sons. And here, the masculine shall include the feminine. We're all Guyana Sons. 2017, GUYSONS Oil and Gas was formed to respond to the oil and gas initiatives and opportunities. 2018, we got ISO 9001-2015 with the assistance of ExxonMobil's CLDB's initiative. 2019, we secured 2 contracts, one in engineering and the other in staffing from Exxon. 2020, Faisal just said, we struck the GKB partnership. Emphasis, Guyana comes first. 52.5% shareholding Guyanese. The vision of GUYSONS, to build local capacity through smart partnerships and to become globally competitive. We're building capacity all within the framework to add substance to the recently passed into law local content legislation. Guyana's first Tier 1 company is in the making. Important. To the co-venturers, ExxonMobil, CNOOC, Hess, you took the risk when you did not know we had a single drop of oil in the shores, off the shores of Guyana. Risk is proportional to return. You struck gold, black gold. Mr. President, thank you, sir, and your team for the time you've taken, the speed with which you moved, and your generosity of time to share with us and make this happen. Thank you very much. We're poised to create history in Guyana. We've been given an opportunity to work together to make it happen. As I say in my religion, Alhamdulillah, meaning praise be to God. My thanks, sir.
Thank you, Faisal, and thank you, Kads, for telling us about GUYSONS and giving that insight into GKB. Now, we've heard from the GUYSONS side, so we're quickly going to hear from the KNB Industries side. So please, let's welcome the VP of Sales, Mr. Nick Becknell. Put your hands together, please.
Good morning. Thank you, everyone, for having us here today. Special thanks to you, President Ali. We're very grateful and honored to be a part of the next chapter in Guyana's growth. KNB Industries has been providing precision manufacturing machining services for the oil and gas industry for almost 50 years. And through our partnership with GUYSONS, we're now committed to offer in-country solutions to support Guyana's growing energy sector for decades to come. To be successful, we plan to invest in the community and more specifically in the Guyana people. Despite the challenges of the ongoing COVID pandemic, KNB and GUYSONS have been conducting both virtual and in-country training to the local Guyanese workers. Our next phase of training includes sending the local GKB team members to the United States for more in-depth training at KNB's world-class facilities. We believe this will benefit both KNB and GUYSONS as we learn from each other. We're excited for this opportunity and look forward to a long-standing relationship between GKB and Guyana. We appreciate the support of the Guyanese government to help facilitate such a partnership and eager to serve for years to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick. Appreciate the kind sentiment and also the commitment that we're not here for a flash-in-the-pan type of strategy. We're here for the long haul. Okay, and so as you can see in the room, we have residents and community leaders from Enmore. And so we couldn't have this program, this announcement, without hearing from a local activist, a young lady. Her name is Jenny Saw, and she's going to be talking to us about her thoughts and what does she think is coming down the pipeline with an announcement of this kind. Jenny, let's put our hands together for Jenny. Yeah.
A pleasant good morning, all, Mr. President and many honorable and esteemed guests. I stand here with great pleasure today as I represent the village of Enmore. It's an absolute honor to be in front of so many esteemed guests to say how much we appreciate and thank the entire team of GUYSONS K+B Industries for the investment in the Enmore estate. This will open so many opportunities for everyone in our community. I cannot say how much lives will be touched by this investment. I thank our president and the entire team for giving us hope and help since the day you took office. Today I stand here to share with this good news, to celebrate this honor of having so much job opportunity in our village. It will not only benefit people from our villages, it will benefit people from so many other villages. All the young, the entire community welcomes this wonderful venture and will be wholeheartedly willing to work and honored to work alongside this trustworthy and competent government and the generous investors. You have truly brought joy and livelihood to the lives of many. Now we are able to hold our heads high and say, indeed, better days are here. We cannot wait to work along with this exciting path of development that our country is stepping into. Today, as a proud Guyanese, I leave you with the thought of knowing that you have made so many lives better. And thank you for keeping your promises and looking out for your people. Let us continue to live in love, peace, and harmony. Let us continue to stand true to the words, one people, one nation, one destiny. Stay safe, everyone. Thank you.
Better days are here. Thank you, Jenny. Really appreciate your remarks. Next on the program, we have the Senior Minister of Finance, Dr. Ashni Singh. And I will say this before I invite Dr. Ashni Singh. We had a meeting, GKB and Dr. Ashni had a meeting. And it speaks to, on that very first request, that meeting was granted and your support was immediate. And so on behalf of GKB, we want to say thank you as we invite Dr. Ashni Singh.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Rosh. Your Excellency, Cabinet colleagues, members of the Diplomatic Corps, leadership of the GKB joint venture, perhaps most importantly, representatives of the Enmore community, ladies and gentlemen. Let me say, first of all, how very pleased I am to be able to be here to participate in this very important occasion. And I want to speak a little bit, even if briefly, on why I consider today's event and events like this as important as I consider them. First and foremost, our government, under the leadership of His Excellency President Irfaan Ali, we have, from the very earliest days of assuming office, indeed, I might go further and say that even before President Ali became President Ali, when he was still presidential candidate Ali, we committed as a party in opposition at the time to ensuring that Guyana's new and emerging oil and gas sector be managed in such a manner as to ensure that the benefits of the sector redound to all Guyanese people. That was a commitment that we gave at that time by then presidential candidate Ali. Immediately upon assumption of the presidency, His Excellency, equal to his word, engaged with the sector immediately to find out what were the critical issues that the sector was facing, what were the key bottlenecks and impediments to their implementation of their plans. And he set about from the very first days of his presidency on blocking all of these impediments, whether it was permitting issues that were frustrating the build-out of plans by the contractors, Tier 1 and other contractors, or other impediments. And so what we're witnessing today is a manifestation of exactly that commitment that was given then by candidate Ali and that was reiterated so many times since then by President Ali. Secondly, His Excellency and his entire government have been speaking constantly about partnerships, and in particular partnerships in order to ensure local participation. You would know, of course, of the local content legislation. This was the subject of a lot of discussion recently right here at this conference, but was also the subject of a lot of discussion over the last few months, culminating, of course, in our government's taking to Parliament and enacting and securing parliamentary approval of a new local content law. This partnership between GUYSONS and GKB represents a good example of what can be achieved true to the spirit of the local content framework that we have established, leveraging local and domestic expertise and capital, but also mobilizing international expertise and partnerships such as that which is found in KNB. And so this partnership is what we would like to see multiplied and replicated many times over. Thirdly, I have known CADS for a number of years. I've known Faisal for a number of years too. We've been speaking as a government about how the opportunities that are emerging in Guyana will translate into opportunities for members of the diaspora. Now, CADS might no longer consider himself a member of the diaspora because he's been back, but he is an example of the member of the diaspora. Faisal is British, but of Guyanese ancestry. And this is also an example of the kind of opportunities for participation by members of the diaspora who have expertise, who have capital, who want to participate in the remarkable, exciting opportunities that are emerging in Guyana. And finally, we committed as a government, and like I said, even in opposition, we committed to righting the grave wrong that was done to sugar-producing communities in Guyana. And Enmore is one of those communities that felt the brunt of the wrong that was done to sugar-producing communities when the sugar industry was closed in the manner that it was done. We gave that commitment long before we assumed office. We have set about delivering on that commitment in earnest since we came into government. And the mobilization of this investment in Enmore is not by accident or by chance. It is as a result of direct effort at the level of the president to ensure that we mobilize a significant investment in Enmore. And we will be doing more of the same, not just in Enmore, but in all of the former sugar-producing communities whose economies were devastated by the closure of the sugar industry, and indeed in all communities throughout the length and breadth of Guyana. And so this investment is going to see the establishment of this fabrication facility, which will create immediately 150 jobs, and I say immediately within the course of this year, will create 150 jobs, and in the space of the next 3 to 5 years will create 500 jobs for the people of Enmore. People of Enmore and surrounding areas, of course.
East Coast Corridor.
The entire East Coast Corridor. Let me say that this is not a one-off initiative. I had the opportunity recently on His Excellency's instruction to visit Enmore, and in particular to go to the the facility that we had constructed, indeed under then Minister Ali's leadership. We had constructed a facility that was intended to be a call center. I visited there with an investor about 2 or 3 months ago. We are working to bring a call center to that facility. And once that call center comes to that facility, we will have another 300 to 500 jobs, additional jobs created in India. And so I want to say that I don't want to stand for much longer between you and the featured speaker, but I want to say to you that for multiple reasons, today's occasion is an extremely significant and important one for many, many reasons. It represents an example, like I said earlier, of what we would like to achieve. It represents indeed the delivery of a commitment one aspect of an ongoing delivery of the commitment that we gave to create jobs, mobilize investments, create jobs, and improve livelihoods in, like I said, not just the sugar-producing community, but indeed throughout the length and breadth of Ghana. So congratulations to the the GKB partners, congratulations to GUYSONS and to KNB. I wish you speedy implementation of your investment plans. We will stay closely engaged to make sure that they are rolled out very quickly. We would like to see the jobs created very quickly. We would like to see people at work. We will stay closely engaged with you to see this investment realized in the manner that is anticipated. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Dr. Ashni Singh, for your remarks. You know, as you spoke about His Excellency unblocking the impediments and referencing the permitting, as someone who's been involved as an advisor and consultant on this project as well, our experience has been with His Excellency, someone who is personally involved. It's not saying investors were interested, it's following up with that genuine commitment. And so it is my honor to invite to the podium His Excellency, Dr. Mohamed Irfaan Ali, to give us the feature address.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Investors, Ambassador, members of Cabinet, members of the media, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. You guys need some coffee. First of all, allow me to say that this is beyond a company investing in a country. I want to recognize the U.S. Ambassador and to say that this is for the strengthening of our relationship, bilateral relationship with the United States. And sometimes we miss that macro point. Secondly, I don't often do this, but I have a group of people in a cabinet that has been working tremendously hard in advancing projects. You heard from Dr. Ashley Singh. We have Minister Onesh Waltran, if she can raise her hands so you can see her. Tourism, Industry and Commerce, and in a few months she will be making some very special announcements. We have Minister Yu Todd, Minister Vikram Bharat, who is a minister of the sector and has been doing an incredible job at pushing things forward. Minister Zulfikar Mustafa, who we will hear from in the course of weeks on some very special initiative. And they're supported by Minister Ejel, of course, hardworking. And there are some very strong technical people that are supporting us. And these are the ministers who are here. RK, who worked very hard in putting together. I saw Minister Dharmlal, who ensured that local content is kept local, the Minister of Local Government. And he is very important in this development. RK has worked diligently in ensuring that we advance this process to where we are today, along with the Ministry of Finance, the Minister, and of course, Peter. Peter has been out there working in a dynamic way, advancing our openness and our agenda for investment. I want to thank Roche and the team. You wouldn't believe that Mr. Katskan actually campaigned against me, you know.
Not me, Chief, not me.
And no, his son was strongly on supporting, but I must say that this showed the dimensions of families. But we are here as a government to serve all and to show the light and to create the path. And to create the path for investment. I want to address some fundamental issues. First of all, this is a massive investment. It's in the tune of 35 million United States dollars when it's all completed. Immediately, the investment would be 7.5 million United States dollars. The immediate task is to get what used to be the processing facility at Enmore into operation. So you will see, for example, not only the creation of more than 150 jobs in the first year, but you will see an ad in the newspaper inviting persons along the East Coast corridor to apply, because these are highly skilled jobs. These are skilled jobs that are being created. And the company has committed to commence that process almost immediately, to have the eventual 500 employees trained and ready to take up jobs within the company. So those are things that you will see almost immediately. The speed at which we operated required some very late night conversations that were very productive. Now, I saw in today's newspaper a letter that inquired about how is this conference and how is what we do here connected to ordinary people. In the organization of this conference, we particularly paid attention to this because we want to see all Guyanese come along with the development. If you just go 2 minutes across the road, you would see how ordinary people and what they do was incorporated and integrated into what we're doing here. So it is not only the photographs of people in suit that makes the newspaper that should create the narrative. Sometimes the news also need to focus on those people and what they're doing. And let that make the news too, so people in the general population would understand the holistic approach of what is happening. Very important. For example, for the first time, Guyana is presenting a regional solution to housing with prefab wooden homes that we are going to manufacture here to supply regionally. This is the value added that we have spoken about for years, but we can now realize because of a vision of reduced cost of energy and all that comes with it. Now, secondly, so that is the first way in which ordinary people are connected. Secondly, things just don't happen like in an unplanned manner. For the benefits to come, we must do what we do at the high level, at the technical level. We have to meet the ambassador. We have to meet the international investors. We have to meet the men and women in suits, because that is where the hard work of negotiating the opportunities is done. And then ultimately, who benefit? It is the people in these communities all across the East Coast that would now benefit from the work that has been done and the jobs that will be created. That is how you're connected. We cannot be narrow-minded. I keep saying to every Guyanese, we have to up our level of thinking. We have to up our level of thinking. We cannot be contained in a box anymore. It's a different era and a different scope at which we are operating. Whilst we are here today, there's an entire delegation with Barbados looking at the opportunities that exist for the creation of the Guyana-Barbados Food Terminal that will support the agricultural sector. So what is the aim of this? Why are we going out on the East Coast? The growing population is on the East Coast and East Bank. We have made it very clear that we are going to create new growth poles and growth centers. And the government, one of the critical questions the investors had to ask and got answered is what are the plans to integrate Enmore to the rest of what is happening at the port facility and so on, because we have to have an efficient transportation system. So we have to ensure we get that infrastructure in place as fast as possible to support the type of private investment that we're talking about here. That is why we're designing an elaborate road network, transportation system that would link 2 new industrial sites for the East Coast Corridor. Because the East Coast Corridor is a fastly developing and populated area. And we have to make that a major area of growth. Later this year, maybe in a few weeks, RK, Peter, we have another announcement that is coming from a Surinamese, Guyanese company that will create a few hundreds of jobs also, eventually going up to 1,500 jobs along the East Coast corridor that deals with processing, manufacturing, beverage production, and that is also coming on stream. So this is another part of the puzzle in creating that new growth center and new growth pole along the East Coast. Well, I want to wish the company well. We have, and I want all of us to understand this, this is not only an announcement. The company has signed on to a number of commitments and milestones that has to be met as we move forward. The jobs, the investment, what has to be done, the type of changes that we have to see, and it's graduated, that is going to be monitored by NISIL, Finance, and GoInvest. And they've committed themselves in writing to this. They've committed themselves in writing to this. It shows their seriousness about advancing this very quickly. And this is not only about the oil and gas sector. We have made it very clear that Guyana must become the hub for fabrication, machining services for this region. The region has a huge yachting industry. Cruise ships come here all the time. We have to start getting into those markets. What oil and gas does is it gives us the accelerated momentum to get there, because you have the sophisticated investors and technology now interested. But we have to push them now with local companies to take us beyond oil and gas, to take us to the potential markets that exist. Northern Brazil presents an important opportunity. So over the next couple of months, you will see this integrated plan all coming together, And you will see every community being part of the massive growth and advancement that you will see in Guyana, in every single area. This year, you will see investment in every single sector: agriculture, health, education, tourism, manufacturing. Every single sector you will see announcements and work commencing. And then to support this is a massive investment government is making on the capital side to catalyze the growth and to open up the opportunities so that we can have the creation of more jobs. When we spoke about 50,000 jobs in the campaign, it was not fallacy. It was an understanding of what lies ahead, and more importantly, a commitment that we knew. We had it in our team to deliver it to the people. And we are doing that not only in a sustained way, but in a very, very aggressive way. Guyana is open for business. Guyana only asks of you to bring along the local population with you. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Excellency. Guyana is open for business. Thank you for laying out the expansion plans and for walking us through how that integration plan will all come together. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of our program. This is where we get to bring the curtains down. And so I wish to thank His Excellency and the honorable ministers for not just their engagement and their participation here today, but for all the work that has led up to this point. Thank you to the U.S. Ambassador and to other members of the Diplomatic Corps. Mr. R.K. Sharma from NISIL, thank you for your hard work. And a special thank you as well to Dr. Peter Ramsarup. You know, Dr. Peter Ramsarup Yes. This, again, this dates back. This work started at OTC, at the very last OTC where you met with members of GKB, and you are always a fountain of knowledge, sharing how to shape deals and how to make these investments happen. So thank you for all of your work. And to the Enmore community members, thank you so much. We look forward to working with you and to creating those jobs. So ladies and gentlemen, all, thank you very much. We'll bring the curtains down on this. There are some refreshments. Yeah? I'm being asked, ministers and Your Excellency, if we could take a quick photo before you exit. I know you've got some other meetings, but thank you all. There's some light refreshments.
Want us to exit before you refresh?
No. Thank you all.